Hey, it's Mayo. So, I've had a little bit of a crazy month, I'm not gonna lie. And, following in suit, I was gonna make a different video this week, but this happened. So, kinda needed my hands to make that video, so I thought, I'll turn this lemon into some lemonade. Recently, I had someone ask me to make a video talking about band-aids, bandages, and wound care, and how I deal with that. I shared last summer in my mast cell activation series that I've always had allergies to adhesives. So that means I'm allergic to the sticky stuff on band-aids or medical tape. It's kind of a pain in the ass. For me, my adhesive allergy turns that wherever the sticky stuff is touching me, it turns red and it gets raised and really itchy. Obviously, I am wearing a band-aid though, so I will tell you what I did here. Of course, obviously, clean whatever cut or wound you have going on with warm water or soap, or use something like hydrogen peroxide. I used hydrogen peroxide on this bad boy. Once your cut is thoroughly clean, then you can grab a bandage and wrap it up. Personally, I try not to use band-aids unless I really have to. If I get cuts on my fingers, then I don't really have a choice but to put a band-aid on it. I've tried a whole bunch of different band-aids throughout my life, and this current brand that I'm about to show you is what I've had the best luck with. This is the Target brand, Up and Up. Up and Up. These are clear strips, these are plastic with print, and these are also plastic strips with prints. These plastic strips I actually react the least to, so that's kind of cool. But these are obviously great if you're wanting to kind of blend your band-aid in and not have it be so obvious. But, you know, if you're gonna wear a band-aid, why not have dinosaurs on it? No shame, I will wear printed, fun band-aids my whole life. I don't care how old I get. I also found that I tend to do best with latex-free band-aids. All three of these are latex-free, just by the way. The band-aids I'm most allergic to are fabric ones, because I'm also allergic to many types of fabric, like wool. So fabric band-aids is like a double whammy of fabric allergy plus adhesive allergy. Normally with most band-aids, I will break out to them within 3 seconds of having it on. It makes me itchy almost instantly. These ones I can wear for like 3 days round the clock, and it only starts to make me itchy on like day 2 or 3, which is pretty good for me. Typically I don't really like to use antibiotic ointment on my cuts, but if I really need to, then I will. This is Neosporin, and this is a triple antibiotic ointment by Equate. These are just what we had in our first aid kit. If you're not aware of this tip, definitely, if you're gonna put antibiotic ointment on, don't touch it with your finger and don't rub it straight onto the spot. You wanna take a band-aid and put it onto the cloth part of the band-aid and then stick it on. Or you can use like a Q-tip or something, but definitely don't touch this with your skin because you want this to remain sanitary. Of course, anytime you get your band-aid wet, you are supposed to change it out. If you are going to be working with your hands a lot or washing your hands often, you can get finger cots, or as some people call them, finger condoms. You can get one and roll it over your finger, so if you have to cook or do dishes or something, then your finger will stay dry and you won't have to change out your band-aid or worry about germs getting in your food. If you've ever watched the Food Channel, you'll see those finger condoms a lot. If I get a cut in a tricky place like my fingers, my hands, my elbow, maybe my knee, maybe my toes, then I will definitely use stick-on band-aids. If I get a cut in a place where I can actually wrap it 360 degrees, like a forearm, upper arm, maybe a shin, then I will take some gauze, some sports wrap, and tape it and wrap it myself. And I do it in a way that no adhesive will touch me. But I will show you how I do that. First, you will need gauze pads. These I got from my dad. My dad's a dentist, so he has a lot of these in his office. He just brought them home in a plastic bag. But you can buy gauze pads at pretty much anywhere, and they come in all different sizes. These ones are great because they're really easy to cut down to whatever size you want, or they're nice and big so you can use the whole one. So you want a gauze pad. Again, if you want to use ointment, you have lots of options. Put the ointment straight onto the gauze or use a Q-tip to put it on your wound. Don't double dip. Keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. For the purpose of this, I will show y'all. So, this is a very large gauze pad. You can see. Look at how big that baby is. So, typically you will like double it up, or sometimes they're already pre-made so they have lots of layers and they won't leak through. But I'm just going to fold this up and show you what I would do if I had something on my arm. There are all different kinds of wraps you can use to do this. Personally, this is my favorite kind. These are actually called athletic pre-wrap. Their use and purpose is to keep adhesive off of your skin. You'll mostly see this in sports games for like football players, soccer players, something like that. The purpose is to put it on and then protect the skin from tape. So then when they have to take it off, you don't rip off a bunch of leg hair. So these you can find pretty much anywhere. Check in the bandage aisle. If they don't have it there, check in the sports aisle. If you can't find it at a drugstore or a department store like Target or Walmart or Kmart, then definitely go to a sports store like Big Five or Dick's Sporting Goods, and I guarantee they will have this stuff in a whole bunch of colors. I love that this stuff literally comes in any single color you can imagine. I think that's really fun. Obviously, I'm the type of person that I like colorful bandages. If you can see here, it's pretty thin. It's foamy and squishy and breathable. It feels really nice and it makes cool noise. ASMR. It's sturdy enough that it stays on really well. It's also very stretchy. This is how I have taken care of wounds my entire life. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I got this big cut on my leg, and my parents had to get creative and figure out how we could wrap it without adhesive touching me. And this is how they taught me to do it, and this is how I've done it since that age. So I'll show you. So you take your gauze and you can fold it up or cut it to whatever size you want. I'm just going to use my arm as the example because it's easy and right here. And getting it started if it's on your arm is maybe not the easiest. Once you get it one time around though, it'll be solid. So you want to like wrap so you cover the whole gauze pad. I tend to break out if I have things too tight on my skin, so I like to leave it a little bit loose, but you want it tight enough that it's not going to come off. When you have it thoroughly wrapped, you just pull and it tears nice and easy. I love this stuff because it sticks to itself, so you can even leave it untaped if you really want to. But usually when I do these kinds of wraps, I do it after I shower, and then I leave it on for 24 hours. They usually last me 24 hours if it's done well and in a spot that it's not going to get wet. After this point, you take some medical tape. There's all different kinds of widths and types. Honestly, any kind of tape works. You can even use Scotch tape if you're in a pinch. But yeah, at least you want to tape down the end so then it doesn't come unraveled. If you want to add supports to it, then you can tear off a little bit and say, go like that, so it stays on there, and you can do that a couple times. The whole idea here is to not have the adhesive touch my skin anywhere, so that's pretty much what I would do. Last year around this time, I cut my shin pretty bad and it actually scarred, and this is how I wrapped my leg for a week straight. And I only had to do it once a day because I did it well. Best part about this stuff is when you're done, it's really easy to take off, and I like that. There's something really satisfying about it, like tearing and being easy to take off. Like, I will say that definitely I do try to be green, and I like to be as waste-free as possible. If you don't want to be wasting a whole bunch of this stuff, they do make fabric ace wrap or fabric sports wrap or whatever you want to call it. They come in all different kinds of fabrics and lengths and widths. This stuff is fantastic for, say, like if you need to wrap an ice pack onto yourself. This stuff is great. This is a little bit longer than what I would need, so I am looking to try and find a shorter version of this and in cotton. But that's a goal of mine, to start using more of this instead of this, and then I have less waste. But that's pretty much today's video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you have any video requests, definitely leave it in the comments below. All of my social media links, my blogs, and my businesses are all linked below in the description box. You can check that out if you want to see that. Like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Thanks for watching. Come back soon for other shenanigans. Classic Mayo. How's it going, guys? How you been? I have teddy bears right behind my camera, so how you doing?